Hey there, it's Matt. And before we start any of these tutorial videos, I want to give a couple of notes. First of all, there are lots and lots of YouTube videos out there that are probably better and more detailed, more comprehensive for the tools and the tutorials that I'm going to be giving. And you can definitely watch those if you prefer those. You can skip these videos if you already know them. All right. And if I'm talking a bit slow or I'm stuttering or I'm taking pauses, you can skip some parts of these videos as well. The main goal of these videos is just to give you the basics and everything you need to start. All right. So you can watch on YouTube or you can watch here. It doesn't really matter as long as you're able to learn and get what you want. Most of the time, if you are encountering a problem, chances are people have already encountered those and have created videos or created answers for those in the internet. And you've got the most powerful assistant in the world, which is ChatGPT, right? So you've got a lot of options. So with that being said, the last note that I do have is you can speed this video up, right? If you're eating, if you're in your table and I'm kind of talking a bit slow, just speed this video up. There's 1.5, 2.2x there in the video player. So yeah, with that being said, without further ado, let's start. Right? Let's first start and talk about Make. So Make.com is one of the first tools that you'll be encountering if you're going to learn AI and automation. All right. So in a nutshell, Make.com is the middleman between these different platforms. It's one of the cheapest, one of the biggest, and one of the it houses a lot of integrations. If you go to Make.com, first of all, you gotta sign up for an account. But in the homepage, you're gonna see a lot of things. All right. As I mentioned, they've got a lot of integrations with different apps. So they've got I think 2,000 plus at this point. So it's one of the bigger platforms out there. And if you're already using existing tools like Asana, ClickUp, Jira, there's probably an integration in Make. So if you're thinking of connecting different tools, check if there's an integration with Make. And if there is, you've got a high chance of being able to do your automation. And the good thing about Make is that, their pricing is actually quite generous. They've got a free plan, $0 per month, up to 1,000 operations per month, which is actually pretty generous if you're just starting out. You might not need to even go up to these plans, only except if you're going to handle clients and if you're going to handle more volume of operations. I'll discuss that in a bit. But yeah, click on Get Started and then create your own Make.com account. Now, after creating a Make.com account, you're going to be greeted with this dashboard. All right. So this dashboard, you've got a lot of things going on here. You probably don't need to know about team, but the main thing is the scenarios. The simplest term for scenarios is it's the automation and workflow. All right. So this will contain the list of your automations, whether they're on or off, and whether they are on demand or scheduled. And to create a scenario, you just need to click on this button. But before we do that, let's look at the next part of Make, which is templates. Now, templates, as the word suggests, are already proven, done, and ready to go in Make. Now, these usually are very simple. Some of them could get complex. And these are, I think, Make.com approved. So yeah, you can select public templates or team templates. And you also can get an idea. So for example, this one is downloaded or used 54,000 times. So this is one of the most used templates out there, which is generate ChatGPT completions from Google Sheets rows. Now, I don't know why it's the most used. Probably because a lot of people are using Google Sheets. It's one of the most used uh, platforms when it comes to Make. So you can test this out just by clicking on this. Then you can click on this button, create new scenario from template, or click on start guided setup. Now let's click on create new scenario, and it's automatically going to add this scenario to our list of scenarios, right? So it's that easy. It's similar to the templates I gave, but these are like very simple templates that you can already use directly from Make. So you can definitely explore the list of templates, and you can just search for the app, for example, school, right? They've got like an integration with school. Oh, actually, if there are no results, there are no templates with school yet. You can create a new template. Next, you've got connections. So again, make.com is the middleman, right? And in order for make.com to work, it needs to have access to your accounts, to your platforms, right? So this is where you're going to like handle everything, every connection. And I'll show you an easier way to handle all of this. But the last thing is webhooks. Now, webhooks is a fancy way of just saying, for example, Facebook wants to do something to Make. Your webhook is going to be like their signal or their connection to Make. So yeah, if you want Make to do something, if you want other platforms to be able to call Make, you need to like have a webhook, and you'll understand this better later on. Now, let's just go with the template that we created just now. So generate ChatGPT completions from Google Sheets rows. You can create or just use a template, whichever is good for you. Now, I mentioned that there are lots and lots of integrations by Make. And if you're already thinking of a platform, all you have to do is just, search for the name of the tool or platform plus Make. Let's go to, for example, this one, ShipStation. If I search ShipStation Make, just find the search result that says ShipStation integration or school integration, Asana integration, right? And I don't want to like discuss what ShipStation is, but it's a platform that helps companies be able to ship. That's it. And speaking of, we've got like the next term that we need to understand, which is scenarios, or I mean modules, right? So if there's an integration with it, there are modules associated with it. And modules is just, it's actually the circles that you see on this screen. So in this scenario, there are 3 modules, right? Each of these circles are a module. So going back here, there are 2 types of modules. First is the trigger, and second is the action. And actually, let's go to the Google Sheets integration just for you to be able to understand it better. So Google Sheets has 3 triggers. And in a very simple explanation, triggers are what starts the automation, right? For example, Google Sheets is one of the most used modules in Make. And one of the triggers is watch new rows. Meaning if there's a new data or a new row in your Google Sheet, it will trigger, right? The word trigger, the automation or start the automation. So that's what a trigger is. There are other triggers here, like for example, watch changes if a cell in a row gets updated, or if you perform a function in your Google Sheet. Now, actions, on the other hand, are the modules after the trigger. So you can only have one trigger, but you can have multiple actions. Now, you can add a row, you can add a sheet, you can clear a row, right? So you can explore all of these based on your integration. And some integrations don't have like uh, a complete list of uh, actions, right? Especially if they are a new platform, even though they have an integration with Make, they could have missing actions that you would like. But the good thing, again, is that with Make, you can connect Google Sheets with almost any app that has an integration with Make. Dropbox, LinkedIn, Perplexity, and so on. You can also like be able to see the templates that others have like created with the platform. Then that's basically it. So if you have an idea, just search on Google the platform plus Make. Now, going back, let's close this. All right, going back here. Right now, our scenario is off. That just means that it's not gonna run anytime. So there are two ways in order to run your automation. Again, with the trigger, sometimes the trigger is instant, like watch new rows. If there's a new row in your Google Sheet, this automation will run instantly. And every module, remember the operations that I mentioned a while ago, each of these are one or is one operation. Imagine if you're gonna run this like multiple times, and then you've got like a very large automation with lots and lots of modules, that's gonna cost you operations. And every month, you just have 1,000 operations. So automations and workflows is also like a game of optimizing and efficiency, just making sure that your automation is as simple as it can. And I guarantee, and this is like one of the principles I have, the simpler and the shorter the automation is, the better it is. It's really hard to maintain an automation if it gets really big. All right. So that's one of the main principles that I want to partake with you. So make it as small as possible so you can like spend a small amount of operations as you can. Now, going back, we can run this manually. So if we click on this run once, it will run this whole automation. Next, you could also like schedule it to run every 15 minutes, every hour, every day, every week. And the way that you can do that is just click on this. Maximum number of active scenarios has been exceeded. So right now I have some scenarios that are active. So that's one of the limitations of having a free plan. You can only like select I think two scenarios that are active. Now, that's the two ways that you can run this automation, and make sure to save it, right? It's very important that you save your automation or else it can get lost. I've encountered a lot of times when I forgot to click on save and I lost the whole automation and I need to redo it again. So make sure that you're clicking on save. And next, by the way, in order to add a module, you can like click on this button, or you can like right click, add a module. And then the way that you can like move through the canvas is just click on an area and then just drag over. And then, for example, you can drag these modules wherever you like. Right? It's still going to start with the trigger, and then it's going to go to the next module. Okay. You can also like clean this up using the auto align. Right. Now, let's actually click on add another module. And you're going to like see a lot of integrations here. I can keep on scrolling, right? And the good thing about it is that you don't need to like memorize everything here. If you're going to start from scratch, or if you're gonna like get requirements or start your own automation, again, you just do what I told you, which is to search on integration and search for what modules it has. Next, if you click on, for example, Google Sheets, you could select any of these, and it will have like this red thing. That means there's an error and you need to like save it. So for example, if you click on save, we need to select a spreadsheet ID. So it's going to load up the files, or the Google Sheet files I have on my Google Drive. Now, I have already connected my Google account. What you're gonna do is actually click on add and then sign in with Google. This is like for another video because it can get really complex just setting Google with your make.com account. And it's one of the like most underestimated parts of starting with Make, which is just connecting Google. So I'm gonna like create a separate video. Find that in the how-to basics. Now, the way that you can edit this is, you can right-click this module, you can click on settings, and it will show all the settings, right? Or you could just click on this and it will automatically pop up. You could also like run this module only. I'll show it later. Rename. By the way, one of the second principle that I have is to rename your modules to the function that it does. I can't stress this enough. Naming your modules will go a long way. Imagine if you've got like 100 modules here, right? It's going to be chaos. So making sure that you're renaming, adding notes will help you a lot, especially if you go back to it like a month from now, a week from now. You can also like clone it, meaning it's going to like create a new module with the same settings and the same function. And then you can also delete it. You can also copy it. So the difference between clone and copy is that it's not going to automatically create the copy. You need to like press on a area and then, actually you just need to like Control V. There we go. Now, after that, there's no way to like drag everything. So you need to like delete all of it. But what this automation does is just when it is able to like get a new row in your Google Sheets, it's going to give it to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT will answer here, and then it will like put the answer of ChatGPT in the same row. So that's what this just does. So I'm gonna like go to Google Sheets, and then we're gonna like create a new spreadsheet, right? And then I'm gonna name this chat. I don't know, this one, chat GPT prompt completion. Then I'm probably gonna delete that. Okay. Or maybe we can, let's just first set this up. Next, all right. So this is what you're gonna probably encounter. It's gonna ask you for the connection. So you need to, at first you're gonna have like a blank connection. Just click on add. Then again, sign in with Google. Choose an account. I'm gonna choose mine. Then when using these templates, be very careful because you can get errors like this, permission denied. And when you get these types of errors, you've got like a couple of options. Number one, you can like copy it, give it to ChatGPT or Claude, right? And most of the time they will have an answer, right? They're like the new Google in this generation. But if ChatGPT or Claude is not able to like solve the problem, chances are a lot of people have already experienced the same problem. So what I'm gonna do is like put this in Google, then type make. Then as we can see, with the search results, there's what we call the make community. So it's a forum where users can like post problems, and people can also like comment and suggest solutions. So all you have to do is just go through the forum and read it. And most of the time that's it. Like that, when you're encountering a problem that's taking you too long, it's either ChatGPT or Make.com community. Right? Now let's go back here. So it says permission denied. It's because we used a template, right? And you've got like this jumbled stuff here. This is what the template used. So we need to like select the one that we just created, which is Chat GPT prompt completion. And we're gonna like select the sheet. And right now we just have one sheet. Table contains headers. Let's say no because we did not. First table row is correct. A1Z1. And just save. All. Just where to start. Next, you're gonna need a ChatGPT OpenAI API key. And I'm gonna have like another video for that. But all you have to do is just click on add. Then you're supposed to give the API key here. If you know it already, you can do that on now. Now I'm gonna like choose my connection, and then we don't probably need to like modify this, right? Yeah, you can also modify it as well if you want, because right now the template used this prompting. You are an SEO expert. What are the 5 effective SEO keywords that could be used to optimize an article, right? Let's just try that. Click on save. And then with the last module, everything is green. That means it's good, right? You need to make sure that these boxes here inside the input are green. That means it's able to get data from the right module. And the way that you can know which module it came from is just hovering over it, right? And also reading the number. As you can see, it said 1.spreadsheet ID. And there are numbers here that correspond to the module number. And it says 1. So the data came from this module. Spreadsheet ID, then sheet, right? Then row number. So we don't need to like mess with any of these, right? And then it says here that like it's gonna put the result of the chat GPT on column A, right? So let's try and check what we're checking here. First row. Yep. Actually, let's just try it out. So let me just save this and let me just turn one of these scenarios off. Okay, now we can use that and turn it on. Yep, this is it. We can save it, then run every 15 minutes. So it will ask you your scenario is scheduled but not active yet. Would you like to activate? Yep. So this now gonna run every 15 minutes. Depending on your automation or workflow, you're going to set that. But right now, let's try and put here, I don't know, dogs. And then let's see if we're able to run it. So, okay, so we got an error. Cannot initialize the scenario because of the reason scenario validation failed. One problem found. Missing value of required parameter IMT con. Okay, so you're gonna like encounter these problems if you're gonna like use templates. And I'm not gonna like do this because for the sake of time. So actually, you know what? Let me just pause real quick and fix that. All right, and my thought process is this. So remember, we can run this module only. So if we run this module only, it will give us the results. Actually, I run it when I pause the video. So let me just type here cats, right? And if we like run this module only, so it was able to get the cats. And that already costed us one operation. Now, let's try to run this module only. And it's going to like prompt you what we can use as data for row A. Let's say cats again, because just for test purposes. All right, there we go. So it was able to like call ChatGPT and give us an output. So as we can see, there's an input and an output for each module. So if we look at the messages, you will see what we have configured in this ChatGPT module. You're an SEO expert. What are the 5 effective SEO keywords that could be used to optimize an article about the cats? So remember what we put there? Now, if we try to run this module only and try YouTube, I don't know, click OK, it's going to do the same thing, right? About the YouTube. So this is how you test each module. And then if we try and click on choices, or I mean result, so it's gonna give us what ChatGPT answered. Okay, and we can now use this later on for other modules. So again, there's an input and an output for each module. Next, we've got pace completion. Let's try and run this. So because if we're able to run these two, that means this is the module that has an error a while ago. So let me just, can be extra information. Example, yeah, it's okay. Actually, let's try this. All right, so with some bit of experimenting, actually it didn't take me that long to like analyze what happened wrong. So I just went to this module and I just moved the result from A to B because I don't know, like sometimes you just have to tinker, edit, modify, and I just moved it over to B. And the way that I did it, actually, if I delete this, go to B, you'll see the results of each or output of each module here. And you can actually drag, for example, this result over here. So that's just how you can use the data from other modules. And you can also like do this, right? Do this. But that it won't make sense, but you can combine them together, right? You can even like hover over them to see their data. Now, let's just use result. Click on save. Next. We're gonna like add whether it worked. Let's try computer. Okay, so that's a new row. Go back here and click run once. So that should run the whole thing from start to finish. And you can also like view what happened by clicking on these cloud icons and then how each module worked from input and output. And in the end, we were able to like generate this. So this is what ChatGPT answered us, right? So you can create something like, for example, you can, I don't know, Dell, Apple, Microsoft. So we've added 3 rows, and every 15 minutes, this is going to run and generate the SEO keywords for that one. So I think you can imagine how helpful this is, especially if you've got like 1,000 rows. Instead of going to ChatGPT and manually putting all of that, you can just use this Google Sheet to make everything faster and more efficient. And this is just one of those automations you can make a lot of automations here and make. And that's, I think, as far as I can go. This is like the hello world, or like the starter project, that I think is pretty good as a starter. And remember, you can just import the blueprints that I gave you, and now you're able to like modify the values. And I think that's it. Yeah, and you can also like click on show advanced settings if there are advanced settings, and you can also like view the logs here, but that won't matter for now. The logs is just basically a history of what happened. So for example, if it said that the scenario was initialized, it means it started. Scenario was finalized, it means it finished. And then scenario was completed, meaning it ran smoothly. And that's it. Like that's how you like use Make. In the next videos, I'm gonna be discussing how you can connect these platforms and API keys. Right? So I'm gonna see you in that video. Bye.